Today on Fight and Sight podcast, we will have Will, the franchise Dicke, followed by FLA's Cam Nelson. Plus, we will talk about UFC 305, Du Plessis versus Adesanya, and Paige Van Zandt ducking Elle Brooke. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Tim, hit it! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fight and Sight podcast.
Welcome to the show. Our next guest is a 19-7 pro fighter, ranked the #1 light heavyweight in Wisconsin, as well as the American Midwest, who was riding a 6-fight win streak when he got the call to fight for the CFFC title in April of this year. Unfortunately, that was put on pause due to a freak injury that he sustained. Then the fight gets put for August, and now that one has just been called off as his opponent has now been forced to withdraw due to injury. This is the crazy world we live in, Rain. But here's the thing. I've been waiting to talk to this man for so long. I've been following him. And I said, I don't care. I don't care that there's no fight right now. We need to speak to this man. I'm so happy that he agreed to come on. Rain, bring this man in.
Please welcome Will, the franchise Dicke.
Love the intro.
Look at this man. Will, the franchise, my friend. How are you, sir?
Good. I'm very good. How are you guys doing today? Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming, man. I know we've been in talks for like a long time. Every time you get a fight lined up, I'm always excited to talk to you because I feel like you're the next big thing. Mm-hmm. And see, Will, we like to talk to the next big things early so that you don't forget us when you become too famous.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been following you for a while now, and you guys are class act. You guys are a great A. So like I'm really blessed to be here. I appreciate you getting hold of me. So
yeah, thank you, sir. Now, for the people that are only watching or listening on audio and they don't see the visual, one of the questions: do you have a filter on now? Because why are you always so handsome and your skin is always so flawless?
I don't know. Thank my mom. I don't know. I've never heard that one before. I don't know. I've never heard that one before. It's hard to answer that one.
Are you serious? Hold on. On your Instagram story, sometimes my wife will see the stories I'm watching, and every time she sees you on my story, she's like, oh, there's that guy again with the perfect skin. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe really? It's from working out. I don't know. My girl's got a regimen for me. She's got like a facial thing. So, happy wife, happy life. So I just do what she says. So
wait a second. So you do have a skin regimen?
Yeah, a little bit. She has like these little oils that she does it for me. I don't know. It's like a little relaxing thing, but it's after practice and stuff. She's a good girl, so she takes care of me. So.
There you go. Rain. See what a good identifier I have of detail. I knew it.
You are.
There he goes. He has the skin regimen. You should put that on for sale, Will. I would buy it immediately because I need help. My friend, man, like I said in the intro, you had 2 fights that have now fallen out on kind of like very last minute. Both of them, unfortunately, both the injuries occurred like kind of very close to the fight time. Can I ask how you're feeling about it all? I mean, I know it sucks, but like, can I want to kind of understand, I want to be able to take this time to understand from a fighter's perspective, like what the hell goes through your mind, man?
Well, first of all respect to CFFC, Cage Fury, all respect to Luke. You know what I mean? It's just some people call it a doom fight. I was supposed to fight him in April. Like you said, I'm on a 6-fight win streak, all finishes. When I got the call from my management at Upgrade, I said yes right away. I was supposed to fight him April 12th. It was literally the last practice, the last 5 minutes of extra credit before I flew out a week before. It was exactly a week before. It was my last practice, like I was saying, and I tore my cartilage on my rib. I popped my rib out, tore my cartilage. Freak accident. I've never had to pull out of a fight before in like 60-some fights, amateur and pro. Never had to pull out of a fight before. Kind of freaked out. My management at Upgrade assured me that everything was going to be all right. Sergio was like, look, everything's going to be all right. So I went to the doctor. They told me I ripped my rib. Went to rehab, did all that stuff. Everybody at Cage Fury, he's like, look, we want to still put on this fight. We want to ask you to come back. I'm like, absolutely. It's the only fight I want. And then just out of nowhere, I get the call last Sunday. My manager's like, look, Luke might have tore his meniscus disc during sparring. And, he got a hold of me too. He's a class act athlete. He got a hold of me out of respect, and he's like, look, I'm sorry that all this happened. I'm like, man, don't worry about it. It's a fight game. If you guys want to make it a third try, I'm here. But it's just the way fighting goes. You can't really get discouraged. It kind of sucks that I've been in training camp since last October. I went to Alaska, took out their number, Al Mateo. I took out their number one guy, and then I got the call for the world title. But it's kind of a little discouraging that I've had back-to-back training camps, hard training camps with nothing to show for it really, except, well, I can't say that because you're always learning and stuff, but nothing on paper to show for it. But it's just the fight game. You can't get discouraged, man. You just got to push forward. So
right. I mean, the good thing is that even a torn meniscus, from Google, it says it can take 4 to 12 weeks recovery. So if it's on the shorter end, you're talking about like a high pro level athlete. Hopefully, maybe it could be like within a couple months we get this fight rebooked. I guess that would be.
It's on Cage Fury. Everybody over at Cage Fury. My management's. I told them after I heard about Luke tearing his meniscus that I was going to take a week off and get a hold of them. So they were very supportive about that. I took about 5 days off, and then I was back in the gym. But it's just whatever they want me to do. You know what I mean? So if they want me to wait out for Cage Fury, or we got some other options, everybody's looking to fight me. So I'm just excited that I'm in this place. So.
Yeah, dude, man, you're in a good spot, right? You've got this pending title fight. After that title win, who knows what's next for you, right? Like,
yes, sir.
The life is just going up and up for you, man. Like, like you said, 6-fight win streak, all finishes. There's nothing stopping you from getting that next call. You must be ready constantly in case UFC calls you already. Yes,
sir. Stay ready. Got to stay ready. And it's my mentality. It's my mentality. I've been in this fight game 15 years. So, it's just better that I just, especially at my age and as long as I've been in fighting, that if I ever take off, I feel like I'm falling back, and I don't want to fall back. I'm riding this momentum, and I just don't want everywhere to go backwards. So I just keep pushing forward until the final bell. So
right, because you were very active last year, right? Last year, 3 fights, I believe.
Correct, and then the year before that, I only had 2, but I've been pretty active. So I've been trying to stay active, but it's been tough too with everything that's been going on. But I stay ready.
So how do you attribute your ability to stay focused? For younger athletes, because we see this will happen all the time. Rain is a cage announcer with Up Next Fighting. I'm doing some commentary for Fight League Atlantic on East Coast Canada. For these young athletes that sometimes they get injuries, they get delays, if you had to give them some advice as to how do you maintain that kind of high level focus, what would you say?
Just keep your eye on the prize. You know what I mean? In the fight game, just know that you're blessed being a part of the fight game. You're like the 1 or 2% of the world that can actually do that. So just keep your eye on the prize and surround yourself with a great team, and just keep pushing forward, because there's only one sure fact that if you quit, then it's over. So.
Yeah. Damn, that's good advice for life, right?
Yep.
Everybody. Yeah, definitely. As a professional, you're waiting on these few fights and stuff like that. And if you don't mind, you said that you're an open book before we started. So I want to ask you, because sometimes I see this happens with athletes too. How difficult is it financially when these fights don't happen? You're in these training camps, you're incurring all these costs. How does that go, man?
Well, that's one thing about MMA. It's kind of a selfish sport. I do got a significant other, and I do work full time. I'm a lead at Hoffmaster. I've been there a long time, so that helps me fund. I'm not really big with sponsors. Any help I get, I'm not one of those fighters that go out there looking for sponsors. Any help I get, I really appreciate it. But I pretty much fund all my own endeavors. But it's kind of selfish because I could be putting that stuff back into my family. I don't have kids, but my girl and future house, stuff like that. But you can't really think about the small details as money, and you just got to keep your eye on the prize. You know what I mean? Get yourself like I said, get yourself good people around you that have the same common goal, and you just know that anything worth anything is not going to come easy. So you just keep your eye on the prize and just hope for the best. If you love what you do, then it's you're just investing in your future. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's very interesting, man. And it's tough, man. But yeah, I mean, to have the support of a loved one, and obviously, have you been with her for a long time? Can I ask?
Yes, sir.
How long? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Almost 5 years.
Oh, there you go. So she's been with you through this whole journey.
Yep. Pretty much since I came back and I redirected myself to MMA. She's in my corner. She's in there. She comes to every practice. She makes me all my meal preps. She's my biggest supporter. So shout out to Stephanie. So love
And
you.
the skin routine, right?
Yeah, skin routine.
Yeah. Because after the fight game, when you want the modeling gigs, she's going to be responsible for that too. So
Yeah.
I don't know what
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but
what does she do? She goes with you to all the practices. She's there for the helping with the nutrition
correct.
stuff. Does she train?
She does not train. She's in her last school of she's in her last year of schooling. She's going for business and marketing. So that's what she's doing. So she's on honor roll. So I'm really proud of her. So
nice. You're her first project with marketing.
I guess she's the one that put all my social media together. I'm not a big social media guy. She puts all my social media together. She clears all my videos and stuff like that. She taught me how to do all that stuff. So that's her thing. So
that's awesome, man. That's a good, strong relationship you got there, and I'm happy for you with that. Yeah, awesome, dude. Fighter. I wanted to ask about. Did you know? Okay, you've been a fighter in this for a long time. You've been working your way up. I just want to ask, did you know that there's a MMA pension in California?
I recently ran across that. I seen little details on it. I'm not really sure the guidelines to it, but I think it's for retired fighters, correct? Obviously it's a pension. But I'm not really sure the guidelines, but yeah, to answer your question, I did see something like that. I think California's the first state, correct?
That
offers that.
Yep.
Do you know anything that you could fill me in on stuff like that? Obviously, you've got to have. I see something about you got to be a resident of California or have 3 fights or 4 fights in California, something like that.
No, dude, this is for. Okay, so here's the deal. This is obviously a shameless plug for us, Rain, but we had the assembly member from California who tabled the bill. He came on our podcast to talk about it. His name is Matt Haney out in San Francisco. Shout out to Matt. Dude, this pension is crazy. So we do have a podcast all about it. I'll shoot you the link if you want to just hear him about it. But it's for, and the only reason I'm bringing it up with you is because you're a guy who's been in the game for a long time now. And I feel like, Rain, this is the guy that deserves the pension. You know what I mean? This is the guy that I want to see get to this pension. All it is, you can be from around the world. It's just that you have to fight. What was it? 8 fights, Rain? Or 10? 8 or 10?
I want to say 10. It was like a double-digit number. It
was? And you have to fight in California. And once you have X number of pro fights, I think that was the kicker, right?
Yeah, it has to be a professional fight. Yeah.
It has to be a professional fight in California. Once you accumulate that total number, when you retire, not when you retire, but when you hit a certain age, there is a pension that will be paid out. And they're trying to expand it into other states or other countries or whatever. Whoever wants to get in on the action can do it. But it's a very cool thing, man. So I just wanted to know, as you get in there, right? You're hitting the prime time of your career. Are you going to try to focus on California-based fights, rack up and get that pension, dude?
That's actually interesting. Yeah, I to tell you the truth, I've never. I mean, they have a pension MMA. That's just like a little cushion. That sounds amazing, but yeah, that's something I got to discuss with my manager. That's interesting, man. I really appreciate that plug on that. Yeah, that's really interesting. That sounds like it's right up my alley and a lot of fighters' alley. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna definitely watch that. I'm gonna run that back and just shoot me that link. I want to kind of dig into what you were just talking about. So
yeah, no, and because it's so funny, Rain, because when we talk to California-based fighters, they all kind of know about it. But really, what would they even care? I'm still fighting in California. I don't know any different. And it's just accumulating behind the scenes. You don't even know. But for the other fighters around the world, it seems like a lot of them don't know. And so, Will, it's important to kind of also tell your teammates. And I'm not telling people to not fight in other organizations in other states, but it's good to know, because fighting is, as Dana White says, it's an opportunity. It's not a career. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity. And you got to make the most of it, man. So if there's that thing that's sitting out there that you can get, dude, go get it, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Here's the thing, talking about fighter pay and all that stuff. I do want to segue into some news that happened over the weekend. Francis Ngannou has now, against Timmy B's best judgment, is actually fighting in MMA, Rain.
Oh, he's back.
He is fighting Saturday, October 19th, the Battle of the Giants. Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira. Will the franchise, your thoughts when you saw that news?
Yeah, that's one of that is one of the biggest fights outside the UFC that I'd actually indulge in. You know what I mean? Like I was just watching highlights on Ferreira this morning, and like I seen the one with Weirdum, the controversial tap, but that dude is a wrecking machine. He's like 6'8". He can do a backflip, and he's I think he's had like 4 wins in a row, all knockouts. He just knocked out Ryan Bader, correct, in the PFL championship, or.
Yes. However, let me segue on this. Do you consider that like a real win when you kind of, not a lucky punch, but like when you knock a guy out so quick, like in the first thrown punch, I think it was his first punch, kind of like a Masvidal knee. Yeah, kind of like a Masvidal knee or something like that. I don't know, man, because Bader's awesome. And I feel like if they fought 10 times, I don't think Renan would beat him 10 times.
Yeah, Ryan Bader's been in the game a long time. I think he was the Bellator heavyweight and light heavyweight champ. But yeah. I guess as a fighter, as a striker, that's what you train for. You know, get in there unscathed, throw one punch, get out of there. So all respect to him. I mean, I know it sucks as like a spectator. It's over that fast, especially if you like a fighter and stuff like that. But as an athlete, I think that's what we shoot for. Let's get in, get out. Let's go on to the next unscathed, because let's be honest, Ryan Bader is dangerous. You know what I mean? If you can go in against Ryan Bader and not get unscathed, that guy's an absolute monster. And he's a D1 wrestler. I think he's the Ultimate Fighter winner, if I'm not mistaken. And he's in my weight class, so I've been following him a long time. So, like, he's a stud wrestler. He can strike. UFC, he fought for a world title in UFC, ultimately lost, but then he went to other promotions, second largest promotion, got light heavyweight and then the heavyweight crown for so long. I mean, shout out to Ferreira, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm really excited to see, because Ngannou hasn't fought since 2022. So, like, you know, or MMA. So I'm kind of interested to see, you know, how he handles the length, the reach, the athleticism, the power, you know, and Ferreira's a black belt too. So, like, he's got all these, you know, it's just the ever evolving game of MMA, man.
Yeah. The thing is that, well, Rain, I want to hear your opinion. I guess you didn't, it sounds like you didn't even know that this was happening.
No, I'm actually shocked, but I'm not like surprised that he's going back into fighting again in the MMA cage.
Are you surprised at his opponent though, Rain?
No, not really. I mean, honestly, I feel like for him, since there's the they're trying to promote PFL Africa too, I feel like this is like a good way for like Francis Ngannou to kind of like just get back into the MMA scene and then like segue into like, you know, like really pushing on PFL Africa.
Unless he gets murdered. Like that, like, Will, here's my problem with this fight. I thought that when Ngannou was going to fight in the PFL Super Fight Series, right, which is what this is, it's their pay-per-view series, I thought he was going to fight Jake Paul, or I thought he was going to fight some like, I thought he was going to fight some like, you know, celebrity
to make it like
an influencer,
something,
influencer to make it the whatever the headline was for the PFL. What did you say it was called? It was the PFL
Super Fight Series.
The Super Fight Series. That kind of gets the ring as in like, you know, Super Fights as in like, you know, big influencers, big name and stuff. A lot of people know Ferreira. You know what I mean?
Wait, a lot of people do know Ferreira or don't know?
I feel like a lot of people don't know Ferreira.
Exactly. So. Exactly. Because here's the thing, Will, and I'm gonna fact check you here. You said you're interested to watch this. Are you gonna pay for that pay-per-view, or are you gonna stream it?
No, I'll always pay. I always support them, man. I
really,
like
you would pay.
I think streaming takes away from, you know, a lot of people.
I know.
You know, it's just it's a whole tough thing, especially like I've always seen Dana White come down on them. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. So I usually get together like Buffalo Wild Wings or some local. They usually have it going on. So whatever they got going on behind closed door, that's on them. I'm just there to enjoy it. So
if Wild Wings isn't paying for it, that's not my problem.
That's on them. Buy the wings.
No, okay. I feel like it's interesting though, because I'm like, I don't know that people will pay for this. Like you said, I don't know that people necessarily know who he is, Renan Ferreira. I don't know that necessarily they know he is. And I feel like the casual fan is not going to be enticed by Renan at all. They're going to be enticed by Ngannou. You know what I mean? So now you're not capitalizing on two people. You're capitalizing on just the one. And I do worry that like that's not enough. Because like you said, he hasn't won a fight since 2022.
Yeah, and I also feel like the PFL is not doing a really good job to promote this fight. As Rain was saying, she didn't really know about it, and that's kind of, any UFC fight, any big UFC fight, they promote the hell out of it. And like the PFL, I feel like it casual or even a mainstream like hardcore fan, like they don't really promote it that much. I didn't really even see anything. I had to look on YouTube, look up Ferrer this morning because when I was at work last night, I seen that he was coming back, and I'm all over that stuff. So I'm a big fan of MMA, and it was just the lack of promotion that kind of worried me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They pay these guys a truckload of money, and I love what the PFL is doing. I love what they're doing. I love that they're trying to stay relevant and stuff like that. But it's just there's just so many aspects that Dana has down to like he's just a man at that. That you don't know until you're put in those positions like promotion stuff like that. How he survived, how Dana survived and turned this into a global empire is just beyond me. You know what I mean? Like it took millions of dollars, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars before he made anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. Here's the thing too, on that card, the co-main is Cyborg. Cyborg is back, and she's facing Larissa Pacheco. Now, Rain, just to show Will what a fan you are, tell us everything you know about Larissa Pacheco.
No idea, but I am connected with Chris Cyborg on LinkedIn. There you go.
All right, good. So Pacheco is the current featherweight season champion. I think she beat Kayla Harrison in the last featherweight season. She's the one that gave Kayla her one loss. Here's the thing. What's so funny is like they're showing this, and I keep putting the picture on the screen just so I can keep referring back to it. But you see them there with their titles, right? And then it does say heavyweight title for Ngannou, and then it does say featherweight title for Cyborg. The thing is, the belt that Renan Ferreira and Pacheco are holding, those are not belts that you can lose. Those are belts. Those are ones. Yeah, no, but the Pacheco belt and the Ferreira belt, those are the PFL belts that you win for winning the season. You never defend those titles.
Oh,
okay.
So there's a bunch of
I think
there's a bunch of fraud.
First champion, I think maybe.
Sure, but no belt, no real belt is on the line. Like that belt you can't lose. And then Cyborg is holding her Bellator belt.
It's a Bellator belt, right?
But she's not defending the Bellator belt.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man, you dissect everything. That's crazy. You give me a whole new outlook on that. I didn't even put two and two together. I figured it was just the Bellator versus the PFL champ, which kind of is correct. But the way you put a new way you dissected, man.
Because right now there's a heavyweight season going on in PFL that Renan is not part of. So it's like in a few months there's going to be another guy holding that belt. Like, so it's so weird. But here's the thing. So I started putting that on the social medias going, what belt is this for? Because you can't lose that belt, blah, blah. Guess who replies to me? Cyborg replies.
Jeez.
And she says, it's the new super fight belt. Number 1 Bellator versus number 1 PFL. Francis will fight for the men's super fight belt.
Man, shout out to Cyborg for even getting shout out to Cyborg for getting a hold of you. That's awesome.
Yeah. But she hasn't blocked you yet.
First of all, I love it. Like I said, I love the promotion. I love that you be flashing all that stuff on there. That's awesome. You guys got the best.
Hey, man. But here's the thing. So now they've just made up belts, Will. They're just making up more belts that have no legacy, no history to these belts. I don't know, man. And then what? You win that belt, and then you're going to now defend that belt later? I hope so.
Well, maybe it's when when Bellator and PFL came together, maybe they're just trying to dissect both their chance to see who's better, and then or maybe not better, but maybe better, and then they put whoever wins before that. Obviously, they market the hell out of them, but it just sounds like a reach to me now that you explain it to me that they're just trying to it's kind of PFL kind of sounds like a reach with all this stuff. So
yeah, but the problem is that. You already have that. They're supposed to have that yearly event in PFL where like the champion of the season fights the Bellator champion. But the problem is the Bellator champions haven't been fighting enough on their pay-per-view, so we don't know who's who. But anyway, it's just a strange thing, man. It's very weird, Will. I just don't know what's going on. You know what I mean?
I guess secretly I watch the UFC more than I watch PFL, which is honestly. It's like
Well, don't.
I'm a hardcore UFC fan, and the PFL's kind of like I said, the Ngannou fight kind of got me interested. That's pretty much the only fight outside the UFC that I'm really interested in. You know what I mean? So I just wish they promoted it better.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you obviously, I'm a casual when it comes to PFL, but I'm a diehard MMA. So like I try to stay in the loop with everything, but man, you're just a diehard all around. Much respect.
I'm just causing problems. That's all, Will. But dude, here's the thing, man. I am so happy to have you on this podcast, man. Like, it's been a real pleasure. And like, look, we could chat crap all day long. So here's the thing. I want to have you back soon, if you don't mind. I'd love to have you back just to talk about other things. Like, of course, leading into your fights, I always want to have you there for those too. But dude, Rain, this is a good dude to have on our Rolodex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And anytime you guys want me back, anytime, like I said, it kind of sucks that, you know, my fight got for the second time, you know, so we're kind of just talking and, you know, talking MMA. But once we get a fight lined up here and it's serious, we'll have some serious MMA on my side to talk about. I'm just really appreciate you guys got a hold of me. You guys got great production. You guys are awesome. So thank you so much for reaching out, and I'll get up in the middle of the night to talk to you guys. So.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much, man, for joining the podcast. Rain, I definitely want to have this man back. Will, the franchise Dicke. Guys, watch out for him. Follow him on social medias. What is your social media, Will?
It's Will the Franchise Dicke on Instagram. You guys can follow me there. It's you can look me up at Will Dicke. I just want to shout out.
Hold on. You're wrong. It's at the Franchise MMA.
I'm sorry, the Franchise MMA.
He has a second Instagram account.
I feel like I never give it out. I'm horrible at marketing myself. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's at the Franchise MMA. I'm horrible at marketing myself. That's where my girl comes in. I just want to say thanks to my management at Upgrade, Sergio, Upgrade, Vic, all you guys. Love you guys. Coach B, all my sponsors, Mickey, Celsius, all you guys. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry about the way everything that came out, but we're going to come back stronger. Thank you to you guys for having me, and thanks to my girl. I love you, Steph. So,
yeah. Don't let her wait. I definitely want her to watch the podcast and help us promote, but don't let her see that last part where you got your own Instagram wrong.
Yeah,
don't show her that.
She'll shake her head. She'll look at me. She'll shake her head. She's at the gym right now, so we're so far so we're clear. So,
all right, good, man. Dude, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Good luck. Keep training hard. Keep kicking ass, dude. I hope you get the call up. I hope.
Yeah.
Through all this, I hope someone just sees this, goes, "Hey, we want the franchise on our show," and just gives you the call straight up. And dude, tear that shit up when you get that opportunity.
All you guys. Thank you to all my supporters. Thank you guys.
All right, buddy. Have a good one, man. See you guys.
Thank you, Will.
All right. Rain, that is it for the franchise. I'm so glad to meet him.
Nickname.
Yeah, the franchise is a good nickname. He did tell us what it was. It was from a basketball player. I thought it was from an old ECW wrestler. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about that next time with him. We do have our next guest already here, Rain. So this is fantastic. We've got 2 guests lined up for this show. Wasn't sure if we would get this man on, but I'm very excited to see this dude. Rain, you know me, I'm over there at Fight League Atlantic. And so I see all these young Canadian athletes and stars. And before I had gone into Fight League Atlantic, I didn't even know this existed. And here I am in this organization now where you can see some of the best Canadian talent. And this guest is one of the guys that you got to keep a watch on. Rain, this guest is one of the hottest prospects in Canada. He's a welterweight professional out of Prince Edward Island on the east coast of Canada. He returns to Fight League Atlantic Cage on September 21st in Pictou, Nova Scotia at FLA 16. He's a part of the fantastic team over at Henzo Gracie PEI. Rain, I am so happy to have this man in. I don't think he has a nickname, so you can just say it as it is, Rain. Bring him in.
Please welcome Cam Nelson.
Throw there. Love that.
How you doing, Cam?
Guys, thanks for having me on here.
Good, buddy. Thank you for taking the time to join. Now, here's the thing. He's an East Coast guy, Rain, but right now he's in Ontario, Canada. Cam, what are you doing in Ontario?
Training at Niagara Top Team, actually sitting in the parking lot currently, just coming back for another session. We had a real solid wrestling practice this morning, and just coming in and do some tech spar and some light stuff. Little practice is a doozy for sure. But yeah, just kind of gearing up here. Going to be up here for about 3 weeks, and then we'll go back home to PEI and wrap it up there for the final 3 or so.
That's awesome, dude. So like cross training then at Niagara Top Team.
Yeah, so I was up here. It was in April, I believe. I was up here for about 2 weeks. Just had a connection through one of my agent, Josh Hill. He trains up here. I'm sure you've heard of Josh, Bellator vet, vet of the Canadian scene and kind of all over. So Josh kind of hooked me up getting up here, and I was up here for, like I said, about 2 weeks in April, and just loved it. Loved every minute of it. Obviously, Niagara Top Team's super reputable gym, in the probably the best in the country, a lot to say. So. And I came up and found out for myself how deep the room is and how good the coaching is. Prickett and D-Marks and the whole crew here. Just an awesome group of humans and athletes, and really feel blessed to be able to come up here and put some hard work in. So really just trying to be a sponge while I'm up here and kind of soak it all in, right?
That's awesome, dude. I'm so happy for you, man. Like it is so important to go out and get as much knowledge as you can from everywhere. I was just watching something. I can't remember where it was, Rain, but they were talking about like, if you feel you're the biggest fish in your pond, then that pond is no longer for you.
Mm-hmm,
you know, like when you are the big guy and you've done it all and you're the top, it's really important for you to go to places where you're not. You know, now Cam, I don't know though. You might already be the big fish at Niagara Top Team. Are you pushing all these guys around? You're beating everyone up. What are you doing?
Not even within a fraction of that. That's for sure. Like I said, the room here is phenomenal. From the UFC down to up and comers, down to guys with a few amateur fights. It's just the level up here is really different. That's why, like I said, I wanted to come back up after being here for 2 weeks in April. I just, like I said, I fell in love just with the opportunity of being up here, and I feel like it's like you're in a time chamber up here, man. 2 weeks up here is like 4 or 5 weeks elsewhere. You really just it's kind of sink or swim, right? You rise to the level of the room, or you try to. Like I said, this is my first day of this training trip up here. I landed Saturday and just got things going today, and it's pretty well going to be 2 a days every day, as much as I can squeeze in, right? And actually, another familiar name, Dylan Shepard's up here with me for a week too. So shout out Dylan Shepard.
The general.
Yeah, the general. There you go.
General.
He's up here with me for a week as well. So, yeah, me and him are in here grinding it out and getting lots of work in with a lot of talented athletes up here. So it's awesome for sure.
That's incredible, man. Rain, the general, Dylan Shepard, he's the amateur title holder, correct? 2 belts? No.
2 times over, baby. 2 straps in that gym now.
Yeah,
wow.
So yeah, he's a very cool dude. Also, the general, he told me, is from Modern Warfare. So I like his nickname being from a video game. That's cool. Cam Nelson, why no nickname for you, my friend?
I don't know. A few people have asked me that. If something comes along organically, maybe we'll run with it. A few people were throwing around Bam, but I don't know if that really resonated with me too much. So we might keep that one on the back burner and see if something else comes up. But I'm not the type of self-proclaiming nickname kind of guy, I don't think. So we'll just kind of keep chipping away and see if something or if somebody comes up with something that sticks. So I mean, hey, if you two have anything that comes to mind, shoot me a message. Maybe we'll go with that.
All right. We'll put our brains together, Rain, and we'll think of something. Obviously, Cam is a nice Canadian gentleman. You can see he's such a handsome guy. He always conducts himself so professionally, Rain. So do not recommend Wham Bam. Thank you, ma'am, Cam Nelson. Do not.
It was hard on those ones, I think.
Hey, Cam, are you like a Swiftie by any chance?
A Swiftie? What is that?
Like if you're a fan of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I like Taylor Swift. I'm a big football.
I know it was just random, mostly because I was thinking, okay, Cam, and then it could be like Cam era, like the camera, like he's on his Cam era, the Cam era.
Okay, we'll put the list.
Cam,
I was like Era's tour, or whatever.
Cam, feel free to immediately pass on that one.
Yeah.
Timmy's not feeling it. We'll see.
No, that is not good.
Ideas, right?
Now, Cam, I did hear from a good friend of the podcast that you're possibly moving to Niagara Top Team permanently, and that's from the Alana Cook.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh.
Yeah.
She said that.
Yeah.
Getting lots of questions in regards to that. Obviously, like I said, it's a great place. The people here are not only great athletes but great people as well. So it really makes it easy to come up and just kind of jump into the gym. They're so welcoming, and like I said, the level's so high.
Nice.
So as things progress, obviously you gotta go where you're gonna get pushed and things like that. But we'll see. We got a great group back home as well. So nothing concrete, that's for sure.
I feel like her and her boyfriend Keenan were saying that because they need you to dog sit Ruby.
I'm actually looking at little corgi Ruby right now. So me and Ruby hit it off back in April for a couple weeks, and lots of little walks and belly rubs. So they saw it fit to bring me back and look after her for 3 weeks. They're out in BC, so it just worked out. I'm dog sitting for them, and it's like I said, 6 weeks out from my fight, so it just the times lined up to come back up and get some good work in and look after Ruby while I'm doing it. So
no, Rain, Alana Cook, she messaged me because when I told her that Cam's coming on, and she goes, if he does the podcast from our house, then Ruby can be on the podcast for a second time. So unfortunately we don't see Ruby here today. She did say one other thing. She said, "What the hell does this is a good scaff mean?"
That's a PEI-ism, I believe, maybe a maritime-ism. A good scoff would just be a big spread of food. So you sit down. It was probably when I think we made some night. I can't remember what it was, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a good scoff, eh?" So there's your maritime-ism for the day right there.
Very nice, very nice, dude. I don't want to keep you too long, man. I know you're busy. I know you're in your car and stuff like that, and you've made time for us, which I really appreciate. Rain, I do want to put it up though. Of course, like I said at the intro, Cam Nelson is fighting again at FLA 16. Here's the photo of him. He's fighting Ryan Rohovich. This is going to be an incredible fight in Pictou. You guys gotta get out there, man. Like Cam, I tell people all the time, use this opportunity to go on a vacation to beautiful East Coast Canada, Pictou, Nova Scotia. Rain, it is so gorgeous there. Take the time, just fly out there. Watch. There's 2 events that night, Cam. There's the Tapper Tag 3 in the afternoon, and then there's FLA 16 in the evening. Watch both shows. Go spend some time on the East Coast. Bring home some frozen fish like I do all the time, Cam, every time I go out there. It's gorgeous, man.
Definitely. Yeah, take advantage of it. Like you said, the Maritimes in the summertime is the place to be. We only have a few short months to enjoy it, but they're beautiful for sure.
Yeah.
And Stoke be main event in another FLA card against a super tough, reputable opponent. So fill the seats. Everybody come out. It's going to be a really deep card, top to bottom. So we're looking to put on fireworks for the fans, like always.
Yeah, definitely, my friend. Dude, I'm so happy to have you on. I do want to ask you one last question before we let you go, if that's okay. It's a question that my mom used to ask me almost every day of my life growing up, and I want to ask it to you. Cam Nelson, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
I think I'm a 10, man. Getting to train every day. Kind of pursue this dream that I've kind of developed over the last 4 or 5 years. Trying to be a sponge every day, learning. Having the ability to come up here and train, meet new people, just gain some XP every day, man, chip away and just work towards the next fight, the next goal. And just learning every day, trying to take it all in. So I feel super blessed to be able to do this. That FLA gives me the opportunity to main event a card, to put myself out there, to display my skills, what I'm working at every day. So feeling blessed, feeling blessed is the word, man. That's really all I can come up with off the top of my head right now.
Dude, no, man. Here's the deal. Rain, when I normally see Cam, he's so quiet and reserved. So I had no clue how this interview was going to go. But dude, you're such a personable dude. I love it, man. Like, I really appreciate you having the chance to talk. And I know we talked a lot about Niagara Top Team, but dude, Renzo Gracie PEI, that gym is a powerhouse gym. It has developed fantastic athletes, and like, what a great gym that it is that you have there. And the people that back you up every event is crazy from Renzo Gracie.
It starts with the coach, Matt McGrath. He's kind of instilled the same.
Cam, I think your phone is trying to tell us to leave you alone so that you can go train, my friend. I will sing the praises of Renzo Gracie PEI. Thank you so much for joining the podcast, my friend. I'll let you go, but we'll talk again soon. And I will see you September 21st in Nova Scotia.
Unreal. Appreciate you having me on, guys. Thanks a lot.
See you later, buddy. Have a good one.
Bye.
Talking to you.
2 great guests in a row, Rain.
Yeah.
2 fantastic guests in a row. Franchise, dude, we can have that guy on when we want to just talk nonsense. That guy's very cool, man, and very, very pleasant and very fun to talk with, right?
I know, yeah. He really knows his MMA. Like he said, he's like a big fan. And I think he has like a good, outlook despite having, back-to-back canceled bouts. So as I always tell fighters who tell me, Ray, my fight got canceled, I always tell them, look, this is a setup. The setback is always a setup for something better. We just don't know that yet. But, I believe it's a setup for, something better for the franchise.
We should be booking Rain for motivational speeches. Like, that was good, Ray. That was good. I like it. I've never heard that before. I don't know if you stole that from someone or what, but that was very good. No, it is so true. Like even for my notes, because like, we didn't have a fight to talk about for Will, but like, that was the thing to me. It's like, how do these athletes maintain that kind of composure and how do they maintain that focus? And especially when you're a young athlete like Will or like Cam, you have to be fight ready 24/7 because you don't know if PFL or UFC or ONE FC is going to call you up tomorrow.
Yeah.
And say, hey, you ready for Saturday? Because I got to fight. You know what I mean?
It's interesting that you said that because I was looking at Will's record. He actually had a canceled bout back in 2021, June of 2021. And in July, literally like maybe 3 weeks after that canceled bout, he had another fight and he actually won that fight. So maybe it's one of those situations where, you train so hard, you get a canceled bout. And then next thing you know, someone's calling you like a bigger promotion. And then, you end up, getting like one of the best fights of your life.
That's the thing, Rain. Now, we've got plenty of stuff to chat about. If you're here because of Cam, if you're here because of Will, thank you so much for joining the podcast. Please follow and subscribe to us on all our socials, wherever you're listening to us now, and tell all your friends about us because that's the only way we can grow, Rain, I do want to shout out some friends of the podcast that have done some fantastic things lately. Connor Tierney, he's I think one of the very first bare knuckle fighters we ever had on. He's from out in Birmingham in the UK. He won the UK welterweight championship for BKFC on the weekend. So congratulations to Connor Tierney. Rain, nothing but good things ahead for that dude. Amber Terrell, she just fought August 2nd. Unfortunately, things didn't go her way. That does not stop a girl like Amber Terrell. She's now fighting at Fury FC 96 on September 22nd. She's fighting again in like a month. I love that because that shows, hey, screw that. I'm putting that behind me and I'm focused on the next fight. So congratulations to her. Dricus Du Plessis is fighting this weekend at UFC 305. He defends his title. I'm going to talk a little bit about him, Rain, and our girl, Kate Batchick. Remember the girl that got the manicure and had to get the manicure on the walkway? Kate Batchick debuted at Invicta this past weekend, kicked ass, or well, it was on the Friday, I think it was, but kicked ass and gets a win in Invicta. That's 5 fights in a row for Kate, the Queen of the South, Batchick. That girl is headed places, Rain. I'm telling you. Love that girl. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to all the fighters, man. Like all the friends of the podcast that are fighting and kicking butt and doing great things. Like I love to try and support them wherever I can.
Well, Chelsea Chandler was on this past Saturday's UFC fight night.
No, I know, but she didn't win.
I know, but like she was still there.
Yes. And Talita Alencar, unfortunately, she didn't win. Yes, I normally don't say the ones that lose, but but anyways, yes, right. Here's the thing. I do want to talk quickly about DDP, Rain. He fights this weekend, right? One of our favorite guests of all time, probably one of the most popular guests that we've ever had on the podcast. Definitely the podcast was one of our most successful ever. Here's the thing, Rain. Every time he frickin' gets a fight, what happens?
What do you mean? Every time he gets a freaking fight, what happens? Like he gets into this controversy against Israel Adesanya? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
The stupid race thing comes up every freaking time, right? And here's what I posted on someone's post, right? Because so everybody knows what the hell we're talking about. And if you don't, because maybe you're a casual fan, but DDP made some comments alluding to himself being the first real African champion. And the way he explains it is, I'm born in Africa. I'm raised in Africa. I train in Africa. And when I win this belt, I go home to Africa. He's from South Africa, born, raised, trained, and lives. That's what he meant. But people want to spin it a different way. Rain, what I said here was the fact that this debate comes up every fight of his is very sad. People choose to see it whatever way they want, and that's totally in their right. I believe he meant it as it was said, based on facts and pride in his homeland and nothing more. To drum it up every time only incites more hatred and vile in the world and amongst the community and divides us all. It's not solving anything. It's not meant for any good. Like when you are posting it, it's not meant for any good. And people know that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Rain, I know that you don't solve something by just burying it, but I don't feel that these internet MMA pages and communities are trying to solve anything. They're not trying to promote something positively. They're just trying to drum up shit.
They're promoting drama.
Yeah.
Versus like the actual, fight itself. Like, hey, how many losses does Israel Adesanya have, or Dricus Du Plessis? Like, what's the tail of the tape here? It's like, I feel like the focus has become, it kind of, the spotlight is now on this weird like story of, who's being racist here, right? Like who's really like South African here or of African descent here. Like it's just not good. I don't like it.
I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but I get that there's issues there. I get that there's drama. I get that there's a history, and I get that it's blah, blah, blah. But Dricus Du Plessis was not part of that. You know what I mean? He's a man that is born, raised, and goes there. And no matter what he said, even if it was out of some place, out of meanness or hatred, which I do 1,000,000% do not believe. What are you going to do? Like, I don't know. I feel like by drumming it up, though, all you're doing is getting people to latch on to this argument or this fight. And it's just creating drama and hatred and perpetuating negative stuff. And it's like, look, this is a professional fighter. He's the champion. Let's just, like you said, focus on the fight. I know it's not going to solve anything. And I know it's not maybe the best answer, but I don't, like, if he says I didn't mean it in that way, what are you going to do? You can't force the man to apologize for something that he's saying I did not mean or say.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's tough. But that all said, I want him to destroy Israel Adesanya because I definitely do not need a rematch.
Mm-hmm.
I need him to just decisively beat him, get on with this, and then move on with the DDP era. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love how, like, during their press conference, I mean, DDP stated, that what he said about, him living in South Africa, he was born and raised there, blah, blah, blah. He was just stating facts, and he wasn't trying to disrespect the, I think it was like a post or something about the three kings, right? Of Ngannou, Kamaru Usman, and Israel Adesanya. Yeah, he wasn't trying to disrespect that. He was just saying, hey, he is also of African descent, or he is proudly from South Africa, and he considers himself African, and he wants to be considered as well as part of the table. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He's just stating facts. He never said those guys are not Africans. He just said, hey, I also am proudly representing this nation.
You know what's crazy, Rain? This is freaking nuts. I posted on our social media this morning a picture that this one webpage, Ollie created, does beautiful artwork. Anyways, I don't have it loaded up here on the screen. But I posted, what flag will Adesanya have on his shorts? Because what I found very interesting was there's been captions now going, oh, this is the battle for Africa. It's South Africa versus Nigeria. I don't know, Rain, but I'm almost positive he has never worn Nigerian shorts and Nigerian colors. He's always New Zealand, because UFC always has your badge on your flag. I could be wrong on that. Maybe fact check me. That's fine. But I'm pretty sure he's never worn Nigeria shorts. I think he's always New Zealand. Anyways, I posted and I said, what shorts will he have on, New Zealand or Nigeria? Rain, which way do you think the public have voted?
He probably would go with, just for this bout, he probably would go with Nigeria. Yes.
So the public is, what is the percentage here? It's so funny. 58% say Nigeria. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure, because people kind of don't like Izzy, I thought for sure that they'd all go New Zealand. Like he's not going to, like, which further adds to the whole drama, which is like, dude, you represent New Zealand, like, relax. right? That's so funny. I should research that now to see if he's ever worn Nigerian shorts, but I don't think so. Anyways, all I'm saying is, people, just be nice to one another. Be nice to one another, and don't drudge up crap just to drudge up crap that you have no intention of helping to solve or helping to better. You know what I mean? If all you want to do is put people down or make things so that people get angry, then why are you doing it?
It's just like, for me, there's this irony, like, in this whole story here, right? So with Dricus Du Plessis, it's like, okay, you're not really like, South African, like, even though you're born and raised there, whatever, blah blah blah. But so now if we look at Israel Adesanya, he's of Nigerian descent, but he lives in New Zealand. So if he represents New Zealand, for example, is anyone going to say, hey, well, you're not really from New Zealand. Why are you representing New Zealand? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is the journey of the story.
Wait
right?
a second. Yeah, wait a second. Wait.
Right? He currently lives in New Zealand, right? So if he says...
You're saying like, if you're going to say this about him, then how come people haven't been telling you to take the New Zealand flag off?
Yeah.
That's true. That's
like, this is the irony of this story, right? So I don't know. It's just easy to like throw rocks at somebody else without looking at yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we could go on this forever, but let's try to go for more positive things, Rain. Paige Van Zandt sucks. Have you seen this news, Rain, that just occurred yesterday?
No, what is this about?
Rain, remember when Paige Van Zandt lost to the porn star, Elle Brooke? /influencer? After that fight, Rain, it gets called a draw. Immediately after, everybody is saying rematch. Rematch will be in England. It's going to be in a stadium. It's going to be crazy. Now we've developed this feud. It's going to be awesome. The fight was very good. I watched the whole thing. It was a very good boxing fight. I think Elle won. They called it a draw. Okay, cool. And I thought for sure Misfits Boxing was like, hey, we're doing this to set up a second pay-per-view that we're now going to sell doubly so. Rain, the announcement comes out that Elle Brooke is defending her title against BKFC's Jenny Savage. Where the frick is Paige Van Zandt? She has now gone to Power Slap, and you're not going to fight this girl? You're not going to try to redeem yourself?
Maybe she enjoys Power Slap more.
Rain, crazy. I can't even fathom how crazy that is. That payday for Paige must have been huge to turn that down. You got to have confidence in your skills, man. And even if you don't have confidence in your skills, why would you not take that payday? Crazy. No comment, no thoughts on that?
No, I mean, honestly, for me,
I was blown away.
Hey, go wherever you think the money's right, and where you think the publicity is good for you. And I think
which is Power Slap?
Hey, like you said, maybe the paycheck is much better, so why not? That's all I'm saying.
No chance. You
don't think so?
That Power Slap is going to pay more than a Misfits Boxing pay-per-view in England in a stadium? Even if you just said, hey, just pay me like $3 for every seat, you probably make more than like whatever Power Slap's going to pay you. I can't see how much Power Slap would pay you.
Well, unless
to stand there. Rain, how much are you going to pay someone to stand there and get slapped 3 times and you slap them 3 times? Just even when you think of like how long you're on the screen, like you're only on the television for like a few minutes.
True, but it must be like a big talent fee.
Rain, crazy. I am looking now at Adesanya's shorts, and sometimes he does have green shorts. I wonder if those were Nigeria shorts.
Like, wait, so I think the Nigerian flag,
I don't know
has green on it, I think.
Yeah. I think,
right?
when a UFC fighter is Nigeria, they normally have that like a kind of like a darkish green. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm seeing him now. He's wearing. Maybe it was. Oh, my bad. Maybe. I always thought he sported New Zealand colors.
Who do you think is going to win, though?
Between that fight?
Wait,
are we going back to the Adesanya?
Yeah. That's like the biggest fight this weekend.
Wait, Rain, did you not hear? I just said Paige Van Zandt is not fighting Elle Brooke. That's the bigger news this week. No, I think DDP kills him. Yeah. I think DDP smashes him. I feel like Adesanya may be a little bit psychologically involved with this more so than DDP is, and I feel that's going to throw him off.
I think so.
But
he did say during the press conference that it's not about the belt for him. He said it's about, like beating Dricus Du Plessis. It's about like taking that head and adding it to his collection, basically.
All that dumb crap. Leave me alone. I have no patience for it. Zero patience.
But I feel like with the time off that Izzy has had, I think that might be something that that might affect him, because it's like, I don't really know if this is really something that PV wants to do. Of course, he had expressed that this is something that he had missed fighting and all that, but I feel like DDP is just he's hungrier than Izzy. He has more to prove. He's I think he wants to prove his worth, and he wants to have that legacy, and being the champion right now and making history for South Africa. That's his motivation to keep going.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. We know from interviewing him that he is a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his marketing machine behind him. He's got his training. I feel like this dude is not your average fighter. He's not he is so well put together, from his speaking, from his presentation, from his whatever. I feel like he's like the Ivan Drago of the UFC. Like, he's just like I feel like he's in a lab, and they are like creating this monster to fight and to perform and to present, and like, he's very well put together.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something you can't miss. You see these fighters with their like their entourage and stuff like that, and that messes you up, or that kind of gets you involved in trouble. I don't think DDP is going and hanging out with the boys. You know what I mean? I feel like this dude is very structured in his regime and all that. Like, I feel like that's good for him. And I feel like when you come across someone like that, it's going to be very hard to beat him.
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, Rocky beat Ivan Drago, but that analogy does not fit to that point. Yeah, I don't know. You really took me off my Paige Van Zandt rant. Like, I wanted to talk about that for like 20 minutes. No, I don't know. It's crazy. All right, what else do we got? So yeah, we talked about the PFL titles. We talked about that with Will the franchise. That's crazy, Rain. Like, if I can just go off on that a little bit more, you understand. There's no title. Like, they're making up titles for these two to fight.
Maybe it's the inaugural super. What was the title again? Super fight title belt.
Wait, what did
yeah,
Cyborg
super
tell me?
Fight, the new super fight belt. So it's the inaugural super fight belt.
Give me a break. It's so stupid. But here's the thing. And now 100% of me believes that it's not Cyborg that's writing. I think she has people that write. Like, she's too big. I think that she has like a media team. But the thing is when it says the number one from Bellator versus the number one from PFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you already have that pay-per-view, as we talked about. That's when Impa Kasanganay fought. And that's when, right? Like, that when the champion's supposed to fight the champion, that's already supposed to happen. So this, to say that it's the number one versus number one, well, that should happen in the other pay-per-view. So what are you doing for it here? That's why it makes no sense to me. And then when one of them wins that belt, is that a trophy, or is that a belt you're going to defend?
Belt. Okay.
Because here's the problem. If Cyborg wins that belt, does that now unify the titles? Is the Bellator featherweight title now the same as the PF? Like, right? Like, can I defend only one?
They would have said it as, they would have called it the unified super title belt, or super fight belt.
But that's nonsense too, because then every season you're creating a new champion in PFL. So you can't unify the title and then keep creating them on the side. Then every year you've got to keep unifying. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then are you only defending it once a year? Great. Stupid. I'm telling you, Rain, the whole PFL thing is a total disaster. And we didn't get to this. If Ngannou loses, say goodbye to PFL Africa.
You think so? Okay.
No, I know no, but like the whole thing is on the back of Francis, essentially, right? So if he loses, which would be then his third combat sport loss in a row, 2 boxing and 1 MMA, and he hasn't won since 2022, it really takes away the allure of him.
That is true.
I mean, I guess you're always a champion. You're always one of the greatest and all that, but it really takes away. My initial post on a lot of the PFL posts and stuff like that was, how much are they paying Renan to lose this fight? Because the PFL will go bankrupt if Ngannou loses. That's my belief too. You're going to pay him $8 million for a pay-per-view that nobody's buying. Even Will, he did say he's going to go to the
Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah. What was the wing hut that Amber Fields worked at? Wing House?
Wing House?
Yeah. You're going to go to the local wing house to watch it. Like, nobody's paying for that pay-per-view. Let's be honest. Nobody's sitting at home buying this pay-per-view. Meanwhile, PFL is shelling out Saudi money like it's running out of a faucet, and they're going to pay him $8 million to lose to a guy that nobody knows? Rain. Crazy. No?
I know. Fingers crossed for Francis Ngannou. But like you said, win or lose, he's going to have the money. He's still going to be
great.
PFL Africa. So I think it's a win-win situation for him.
You are
honestly
way too nice.
Look, his opponent, I think it's a good thing for him too, because now it's like, now that, he's fighting Francis Ngannou, it's like, oh, okay. It's kind of helping him build his, I guess, get known, right?
The other guy?
The other guy.
Of course the other guy's happy. I'll go fight Francis Ngannou. Yeah. Of course. But I'm saying
whether he wins or loses, it's a win-win for him too.
Oh, you mean if he gets paid off to lose?
I mean, I don't think that exists. I still think that exists.
Oh, but of course. But Rain, of course, everybody who fights Francis Ngannou is happy because I'm going to gain clout because I'm fighting him. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that fight is not interesting. I don't know. I can't wait. Nobody's going to release numbers. Nobody's ever going to tell us how much it made or anything like that. And then when you tell us that it's a sold out arena, who gives a crap? I could put on anything in any arena and it's going to be a sellout arena. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, a sellout arena doesn't matter.
What, you shoot your camera in the direction where there's a bunch of people. Right? You shoot the camera.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, Rain. We are going to get out of here. We've done a great podcast today. I feel like we had 2 great guests. We've talked about a bunch of drama. You've gotten mad at me, as you always do. Next week on the podcast, Rain, I have not told you, but next week our guest is Hold on, I want to say it correctly. Why do I not have it here? Next week, she is the 2022 International World Games gold medalist in Muay Thai, who is making her pro MMA debut in the Bellator Champions Series card on September 7th in her hometown of San Diego, California.
What? 2 hours away from me. Wow.
Get free tickets from her. Her name is Ashley Thiner. Thiner. Thiner? I think it's Thiner.
Find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Ashley Thiner. But she's a Muay Thai champion making her pro MMA debut. I'm so excited. She is on the podcast next week, Rain.
That's awesome. I cannot wait. I love it whenever we have female fighters on this podcast. So
I know. But I got you 2 very handsome dudes this time.
Yeah.
That was all for you. You kept saying, get me handsome dudes. And I said, okay, I got it.
Yeah. It I'm curious about their skin routine. So
yeah. Okay, before we go, how crazy is it? I knew he must do something. His skin, flawless, this guy.
I know.
But when you go to his Instagram story and go see it at the franchise MMA, every time his skin just looks so good. I'm like, is he using a filter? Like what? Like, and then why would this guy be using a filter? Yeah, like it's so stupid. But like
it's just all following his face.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You know those computers that can tell if like your face is perfectly symmetrical and stuff like that? I feel like he might be like the perfect thing. You know what I mean?
He's like the prototype of it.
Yeah. He's the guy that they base it all off of. Anyways, all right. Rain, thank you so much for this podcast. It was a wonderful time. And sorry for some of the technical glitches if you see some of them and I'm not able to edit everything out with the Cam Nelson. Sorry about that. Just hazards of the job. Oh, and Rain, one last quick thing. We are now on millions.co.
What?
I'm just setting this up now.
No, I have to do it this way.
I'm just setting this up now. But
that's awesome.
We are now slowly getting on millions.co. You're going to be able to buy our merch. We're going to be able to do a whole bunch of things on millions.co. I'm very excited about that. So if you're listening to this, if you listen this far, go check us out on Millions. It's where all the fancy people are.
Really? Okay.
It's where all the fighters are. Rain, do you not know this?
No.
Oh my God. I'll tell it to you. I'll tell it to you. This is where all the professional fighters are, where they sell their merch, where they do live streams, where they do like watch parties. Millions.co is the place to be, and Fight Insight Podcast is there, baby.
That's awesome. Yay. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Very exciting. All right, guys. Have a good one. Bye, Rain.
Bye.